The woman I love took from my best friend. Some joker got lucky, stole her back again. You better come on in my kitchen, 'cause it's going to be raining outdoors.
I'm Scott Ainslie, and we're here to spend some time together looking at Robert Johnson's guitar styles. Johnson was a blues guitarist who died at the age of 27 in August of 1938. He was poisoned by a jealous husband in a juke joint outside of Greenwood, Mississippi. But before he left us 29 songs, which really helped shape rock and roll history. The first one we're going to look at is the first tune he recorded, and probably the tune he auditioned with for the talent scout H.C. Spears when he went to Jackson, Mississippi to his shop. It's in standard tuning, and I'll give you some tuning notes. Kindhearted Woman is in the key of A, and it's in standard tuning, as 8 of Johnson's tunes were, of the 14 that he recorded, were in the key of A. And there are a couple different A chords that Johnson liked to use. When you're playing Delta blues, it's important to be able to play rhythm, bass, and lead guitar, and we just switch off from one to the other. So a lot of the songs fall in the key of A, so you have an open A string, with fingerings in E, so you have an open E string, or D, and you drop an E string down to a drop D tuning, or an open tuning. So you have something to lean on when you go up the neck. You can still get some of the chord tones. And Johnson's fingerings reflect this as well. We're going to be working with an A7 chord, which might be barred at the 5th fret like this. But Johnson and we want to open as many strings as we can. And so we have that nice bottom. So what we're going to do is just reduce this chord form to this. Only covering the strings we have to cover to make an A chord sound. And then we can drop it back a fret for the lick in Johnson's song. If you add the 5th fret note on the 1st string, you have a diminished chord there. And then slide back up. That's one A chord. The next one is also an A7 chord, but we start with a D7 form down here. The root of the chord, the note that the chord is named for, the D note, is on the 4th string here at the nut. And we're just going to move up and cover that 4th string as we go to an E flat, an E, E7. If up here it's a G7, with the root is on the 4th string at the 5th fret, it's a G note, so we name the chord from that. And then if we go up to the 7th fret, with your index finger on the 7th fret, you've got an A7 chord, and that's the one we're after. And to collapse that back a half fret, we just move the top 3 string fingers back, like this, to the diminished chord, and then back up. Now there's one more A chord that Johnson uses, and it's down here. You bar for an A and put your little finger up on the 5th fret. And the A7 like that. So the first phrase Johnson plays, he introduces a song with fragments of this form up the neck, the A7 up here, and he starts simply in the intro like this, just it's a descending line. Very simple. We're working from the 7th, which is a G note, down on the 4th string, and then this is the other A chord at the 5th fret. That's the first line, one of them. The second phrase is with a 4 chord. It's a D7 chord, and we're going to put the third in the bass, so we have a nice strong bass note down on the bottom. But it's the F sharp, not a D. And we're not playing the first string at all, so you needn't even worry about fretting it. Although the ninth, the E, is there, and it sounds okay. We go back to the A chord for the second half of the second phrase. So we have the D7 here. And the third phrase is the dominant, the 5 chord here in E7. And then the 4 chord. And then we walk down. So, very simply, that's the first sort of time through. The second time through, Johnson races up here, and we're going to do this one because it's lots of fun. This is a variation on the first part. He starts on the 5th fret here with that doubled E, and then drops back, plays the 5th fret note here, the A, and then opens it against the D sharp, so you get an augmented 4th. That nice split interval, and then back. In the second variation, he's going to slide up the neck. We'll slide up the neck to this form, sort of D7 sort of form for an A7 chord up here on the 7th fret, and then collapse it and bring it back. His right hand, while he's doing this, and ours, is going to be muting the strings with the heel of your palm, with this part of your palm right there. So that's going to lean on the bass strings and leave the treble strings uncovered. So you get this nice, tight kind of a sound. So another variation of this would be like this. We'll do the intro, and then we'll go into a second way of playing this song. Often we hear in Delta blues that walk up to the D7 chord. Johnson was wonderful in that he would vary lots of stuff, and he sometimes goes down to it. So instead of coming from the 1st fret to the 2nd fret on the bass string into this form, he'll go from the 3rd fret down. And it's the 7th of the A chord in the bass, which is real nice, dropping down to the 3rd of the 4 chord, sorry. So it would be like this. The guitar break that he plays, and it's the only instrumental break that Johnson plays, is in this tune. He was limited by the time available on a 78, and so he didn't play a lot of instrumental breaks, although I'm sure when he was in clubs performing he did. What he did was develop spectacular accompaniments to songs, and really tight lyric structures. The break is real nice. It starts here with the 7th fret A7 form here. Then jumps to a G7, and then he's basically going to do this. But instead of hammering on, he's going to bend the note. And with wound strings, you never quite get to the note you want. So there's a dissonance here that was important and makes the music sound great, where you're going to bend the note But you see, it never quite gets all the way up to where it needs to be. But just bend it as far as you can get it, and let the dissonance stay there. It's part of the blues. So it's. That's that first phrase of the break twice. The second part starts the same way. He comes up here again. And then he does this, which is really great. Back into verses again. One of the things we haven't talked about yet is finger picking. On my right hand, I wear a Golden Gate thumb pick. It's a new kind of plastic, I think, that seems to last longer than the other ones. But you can take your pick of thumb picks. You want one that fits snugly and isn't too flimsy. It needs to stay there, so if you hit the guitar hard, it's not going to be swinging around on the fifth string. For finger picks, I use two 025 Jim Dunlap picks. And I've had these for 11 years, actually. They've been in my pocket for 11 years. And they hold up really well, and they stay on. They're very tight. That's all you want. You can play this stuff without finger picks. Johnson did use a thumb pick, but no finger picks, so it's your call. I usually use these two fingers to play with. What's remarkable about Johnson's style and some of the other Delta players, if you've grown up learning to finger pick, playing Travis picking, or playing John Hurt's music, for instance, there's a steady alternating bass, and your thumb basically acts like the left hand of a piano, playing the bottom of the guitar. And your fingers play the melody or whatever counter melodies or other harmonic stuff that you play on the upper three strings of the guitar. With Johnson's guitar style, as with some other black guitarists, we find the thumb moving up to play notes on the first strings to give them punch and power. And the thumb, while it does play down low, it also plays the higher stuff. Remember, I've angled my hand a little bit like this. My fingers are facing me a little bit, and that allows the palm of your hand here to come in contact with the strings. If you're like this, you're never going to be able to palm damp. So you just turn your palm up a little bit as if you're going to catch a tooth that someone has knocked out in your palm. And we'll just do the guitar intro and a little bit of this tune like this. But the palm damping and being willing to move your thumb up to the high strings are going to be important as you play this stuff. There was one lick I just played which I forgot to show you, which is very nice. It's a way of preparing for the 4 chord or the 5 chord, going from an A to that. And Johnson just bars here and then jumps to the next chord. In a phrase, it might sound like this. Now, the very ending of the tune, the tag, is a simple walk down. And then he jumps to the E chord. Great. Now, the bridge of the tune is wonderful because it's single notes. And Johnson sings in falsetto against it. he starts with the 5th fret A chord, this one, and then drops back, and then back up, and then to the D7. But instead of this, he's just going to go. So these notes, it's that bending lick from the bridge coming back in. Doubling the E, D, and then bending. And then we're into the rest of the bridge. Now we'll take a minute and sing a piece of this so you've got a sense of how these pieces fit together. And I'll do 2 different verses so you can see the different accompaniments as they progress, and then do the bridge and tag.
I got a kind-hearted woman, do anything in this world for me. I got a kind-hearted woman, do anything in this world for me. But these evil-hearted women, man, they will not let me be. I love my baby don't love me. Said I love my baby don't love me. And I really love that woman, can't stand to leave her be. There ain't just but one thing makes Mr. Johnson dream. I swear by how you treat me, baby, I began to think life don't feel the same.